The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cynder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Margie Yahyavi, and Margie is the Executive Director of the Santa Barbara Education Foundation. Thanks for being here, Margie.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh gosh, you know, I think the Santa Barbara Education Foundation has been around a long time, and I bet you not very many people know exactly what you folks are up to, so I'm looking forward to you filling us in.
Great. Yeah, we have been around for a long time. The organization was established in 1985, so that's 30-something years.
Wow.
And it was in response to dwindling funding for public education.
Oh.
When that proposition came in that reduced the funding.
Yes.
Yeah. So since then, a group of concerned community leaders and parents and administrators got together and formed Santa Barbara Education Foundation. And we've been raising money for public education, Santa Barbara Unified School District to be specific, since then.
And so when you say raising money for them, what kind of services, or how does that money manifest itself?
Okay, so we're a little bit complicated. We sort of have 3 tracks we run on.
Okay.
One is the school district will often create a program within the school district with school staff, and they need some extra supports. They may need after-school tutoring, or they may need mental health counseling, or field trip funding, things like that. So that's one track. Another track is organizations will come to us or loosely put together programs that are not a 501c3, but they want to provide their services to students in the school district. And so, and they need a way to accept donations as well.
Oh, gotcha.
They need a little bit of structure. So they'll come to us, and we serve as a fiscal sponsor for organizations like that. And there's several of those fantastic programs. They're independently operated, such as Mission Scholars, What is Love, Peer Buddies, to name a couple of programs like that. And then the third track is we do have some of our own programs. Our summer learning program is probably the one that I would we really invest a lot of time and energy into. We feel like it's really important to provide summer learning for students, especially since, up until this last summer, there was no summer school for kids who wanted to get ahead. There was summer school for kids who needed to make up credits, but so we were offering a way to take advantage of summer learning, and you know that summer learning time period is really important for kids to continue their learning through the school year, through the summer. A lot of kids, especially perhaps lower income kids, will not have the sort of rich summer experiences that some other kids might have traveling and whatnot. So we offer a summer learning program now for junior high students. We have a STEAM program that's doing really, really exciting classes for kids: how to build robots, how to code robots, how to create 3D game making, create their own games. And then we added on this year a cooking class, which was a lot of fun for the kids, and we added on an art class, printmaking, which was a lot of fun for the kids. And then we also do music music camps. String camp, drumline camp, and then we took over the Nick Rail Summer Band Camp about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
And we've been keeping that going as well. So kids can continue learning their instruments over the summer.
So let's take this segment here where you folks are putting the programs together. So you have an idea based on the needs of the kids, and you put together a program, and then you say, oh, here's how much it's going to cost because we have to hire this kind of person and rent this space and have these supplies or whatever. And then you, as the board, then would say, okay, we can afford this, or oh no, we have to go out and raise some more money for this. Is that how that works?
That's how that works. We raise money, we get grants that will support those summer learning programs, and we get individual donations. And we do have tuition. It's a small tuition, and it's very affordable compared to other summer camps. But any student that cannot afford it, there's scholarship available. They don't have to pay the tuition. And the guideline or the threshold is free and reduced lunch kids.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? Even kids who are not on free and reduced lunch, their families have come to us and said, we have a circumstance, we're not able to afford it, our child would like to attend, and we've never turned anyone away.
So you have a fund for scholarships.
We raise money for scholarships.
So you're raising money for that as well.
Yes.
All right. And all right. So then the first example you gave, Santa Barbara Unified. Let's say they have an idea for a program. Did they come and present it to you along with a budget to see? And then do they help you raise the money or no?
They do.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
they do.
great.
They do. So for example, two very popular programs is PEAK, that's the Program for Effective Access to College. And that's a program within the school, it's after school mainly, giving kids tutoring in their subjects, instructing their parents on how to help their student, on what types of classes their kids need to be taking in order to be eligible to go on to college. And we'd like a lot of kids to go on to four-year college or to city college. The Promise is really a great option for kids. But a lot of kids aren't aware that they need to fulfill AG requirements. So we want to make sure that they're well informed about what classes they need in case they do want to go to a four-year college. And then there's mentoring. So students who are who have been through Santa Barbara Unified School District, who are attending local colleges, will come back and serve as mentors for those students in high school to help them through any kind of social problems they may have, or personal problems they may have, or talk about anything that's going on.
That sounds like a great program.
It's a great program
for the one who's doing the mentoring as well as the other student, the younger one.
That's true. And now that program is coming full circle. So we're raising money for to help students who have finished college and want to come back. They want to get their teaching credential. And they want to come back and be employed at Santa Barbara Unified School District as a teacher.
Oh, wow.
So we're raising money to help them with their tuition for graduate school, and a lot of them are coming into Gewurz School.
That is so wonderful. So let's say that somebody's watching this and they say, oh man, I want to donate to one of those scholarships. I want to help. So they can go to your website.
Yes.
You have a donate button.
Yes.
And you're 501c3, so it's tax deductible.
Yes. And so you can go to if you go to our website, you will see a number of different programs. I mean, there's something for everybody. We support art, music, these sorts of resources for kids to help them to get ahead. So you can go on our website and learn about all the different sorts of programs that are available. And then when you donate, there's a note, a field for notes, and just identify, I'd like to donate to the Peak program or the Mission Scholars program or music in the schools, whatever it is that you fancy.
So they can designate a certain program, or
Yes.
they can just say, use it as you see fit.
Yes.
That they can donate anonymously, whatever that donor
Yes.
might want.
Yes, that's right.
That's great. And so do you use volunteers?
Not so much, to be honest with you. We do have we used to have events in person, and at that time we would need volunteers to
Okay.
help us, maybe set up and take down and that sort of thing. But right now we're doing everything via Zoom, and so not so much.
But you probably will be having events, and people can
We
find out
probably will.
about events on your website, once again.
Yes.
Where and when and
Yes.
all
yes.
that.
And another thing that we've always been very passionate about is including the arts and music in the curriculum. And not just as an afterthought or a possibility, but Santa Barbara Unified School District is one of the few districts in the entire state of California that has music for all kids, kindergarten through 6th grade, and every student takes music. They start off, yeah, it's great. They start off with something called ORF, which is percussion and movement in kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade. 3rd grade, every student learns the recorder. 4th grade, every kid learns the violin. And then 5th and 6th, children have their choice of what instrument that they want to study. So we support that in any way that we can, and one of the ways that we support that program is by operating an instrument drive.
Oh.
So a lot of families have instruments that they no longer use. They're in their closet gathering dust, so we do an instrument drive. There is a specific, since COVID, we moved it to February, and so in the month of February we're doing the Love of Music.
Oh,
and
that's
people can
great.
donate their instruments. They can donate cash if they want to help us, because we do need to maintain and repair instruments as well. So we do the instrument drive in the month of February, recently.
Yeah. So I'll bet you collaborate with a lot of different organizations to get your work done.
So we do. When pre-COVID, we were working with. Sarah Miller McCune donated money for a program called the Lenny Faye Blonde Fund in honor of her very best friend. And with those funds, we paid for kids to get transported into the theaters to see live performances. So organizations such as State Street Ballet or Nebula Dance or Ensemble Theater will offer free matinees for the students to come in, and we'd pay for the transportation to get them into the theater and then get them back to their school.
That is great. Lenny would love that, wouldn't she?
She would love that, yeah. And it's surprising how many kids actually have never been in the theater.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And even high school kids. We had high school kids going to the Ensemble Theater for play, and we heard kids saying they had never been to see a play in person. Yeah.
I'll bet you've got some great stories of how kids' lives have been impacted by your work. How would you like to share one with us?
Well, recently with COVID, we have a really close relationship with the district. So we act when they have a need. We respond. And so when COVID hit and classes had to go remote, one of the things that happened was we had 2,000 families that didn't have Wi-Fi access.
Oh no.
So we hopped into action to raise money so that every kid, imagine how are you gonna access your class if it's remote and you don't even have Wi-Fi in your home? So we went into action and raised money for Wi-Fi access. Well, then when kids in the spring were coming back to the classroom, because of COVID, the doors and windows had to be left open. So kids had outgrown their jackets.
Oh gosh.
And they were cold. And so the principal, a couple principals contacted me and said, you know, Margie, kids are cold and they need jackets. Can you help? I was really a little unsure about how that would work, you know, with the whole district of it's a lot of kids. But we put the word out. The community responded. It was amazing. It was just so amazing. And within a couple weeks, we were ordering jackets and delivering them to the schools. And, you know, it kept kids warm, but it also gave kids a really, we heard a couple stories. People got back to us and said, well, there's one, a fellow contacted us and he said, my nephew loves his jacket so much that he won't even take it off at nighttime. He sleeps in his jacket. So I felt like these jackets also served the purpose of warming the human spirit.
Yes.
You know, the children were just so proud and happy to have their jackets. And I think it made the community happy to be able to help students in a really fundamental way.
Yeah, and help the students see that to feel that the community really cares about them and that they matter.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Gosh, that's a wonderful story. Yeah. So, all right. So you raise money through just asking for donations. Do you have drives? Do you have, of course you don't have a crystal ball, but do you have any idea what other kinds of drives? So you've got the musical instrument, you had the coats. Can you think of anything else that you might be asking people to donate in the future?
So right now we're working, and the last 4 years, to be honest with you, actually the last 5-6 years, we've been raising money for literacy. We have, honestly, it's a sad statistic, but about half of the students are reading at grade level. So we'd really like to see that needle move. So we've been raising money for literacy to support the reading effort in the schools. And we have a new superintendent. She's Dr. Hilda Maldonado. She started her second year, July. And so we are now raising money for specifically for professional development. We're having a luncheon soon, so she's going to be explaining that, and she's much better at explaining it than I am. But in essence, developing the teachers so that they can teach every child, no matter what the reason that they're struggling to read. So could be that they're an emergent English language learner, could be that they have dyslexia, could be some other kind of reading program, or just lack of exposure, or practice. So we're raising money for literacy in a little bit different twist right now, and that's this through this professional development program.
Okay, so the money that you're raising for literacy is to bring trainers in to work with the teachers so that they can increase the level of literacy in the kids. Yes,
and it's actually sort of, I would say, systemizing the approach to reading. You may have heard of professional learning communities. So it's really taking advantage and taking that to the next level so that teachers are really communicating with each other about what's working, what's not working, students conferring about this student and that student, and working together to address the each student at the level that student is at.
That is so great.
And so that program's going to go for these professionals that are going to come in for 3 years. So we're going to be raising $200,000 a year for 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, the idea is that the system, that it becomes part of the way that we deliver education.
That's a great plan. So we have about a minute left. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say to our audience?
Oh my goodness. Well, honestly, investing in education is probably the most valuable investment that a person could make. We see these investments actually making a difference in children's lives and their trajectory, and I just appreciate everyone who does donate to Santa Barbara Education Foundation and donate and invest in the children. It really does make a difference.
It's investing in the children.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, and in our collective future.
That's right. Yeah.
Gosh. Margie, well, thank you for your great work.
Thank you,
And for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.